Why the dojo? Such a big question. The integrity of the dojo for me is that from age 8 to 20, I was training for the Olympics in Taekwondo. And the dojo is the space inside of which I would go to train every single day. Now, there's a story that runs parallel to that one. And that is that at age 8, I was also diagnosed with scoliosis. And as part of that diagnosis, they prescribed a back brace that's as hard as a wooden floor for me to wear 20 hours a day. So the only time I could take the back brace off was to shower and go to the dojo and go to train. It's almost, I liken it to taking a bull out of the pen. Like when they took me out of that brace, I was on fire for the training and the passion that I had to express inside the dojo. I got to express all my energy inside the dojo. I got to express all of myself inside of the dojo. And that is the seed frequency that was planted in me from ages 8 to 20. So even though I wore the brace for 5 years, I still ended up needing to have the spinal fusion at age 13. That was a very invasive and intense experience for me, and is another reason why I'm so passionate about transcending the energy of limitation. Can you imagine having your spine fused solid? The passion in me for breaking free of limitation is set in stone. And that passion that was born in me continued after the surgery. After I had the spinal fusion, I still went to the dojo every day to sit and watch without my physical body being involved. And I would walk until I could kick, I kicked until I could fight, and I fought until I could spar full contact and go back to training full time. The doctors told me I couldn't do it, and the passion told me something different. Ultimately, I became number 2 in the country for my weight division. At that time, I got sick again, and I had to have a second spinal surgery to take the rods out. And that's what ultimately took me out of the sport. But it certainly didn't take the sport out of me. It didn't take the passion that was anchored inside of me. After that, I pursued a career in sports and entertainment. I became the executive director of marketing for one of the biggest Major League Baseball agencies in the country. And I became depressed, I had anxiety, and I went to Western medical doctors. And their answer was, well, there's a pill for that. So I became totally dependent on prescription medication to hold the shell of a life that looked pretty fucking great from the outside in together, but from the inside out, I was miserable. Part of the gift in that was that I had the reference point from Taekwondo of what true fire and passion feels like. And so I knew that even though from the outside in this career looked great, it wasn't that. That contrast catalyzed the journey that would lead to my ultimate awakening. I got off all the prescriptions and I moved into my own transformational process, working with EMDR, meditation, yoga, hypnotherapy, plant medicine, all of which supported what I consider to be my original awakening. And along that journey, I found my passion again. By sitting with other beings who were doing the work, who were being real and raw and vulnerable, I felt the fire that I felt in Taekwondo again. I felt that same timeless passion. And that's when I realized what it is that I'm here to do on this planet. And that is to serve as a liberation artist. That is to serve as an invitation to transcend the energy of limitation by holding space for what it takes to face off with our greatest fears and free ourselves into the most liberated, inspired, loving version of ourselves. And that is what birthed the Liberation Dojo. It's been such a gift to go through every life cycle that I've moved through, to make a careful study of what it is to grow, of what it is to transform and evolve as a human being. So I'm grateful for every step and every kick and every expanse that has occurred inside the dojo that is my life. And I'm so excited to invite you to live the dojo that is your life, to live a life beyond the edge with me.